just got to give a tip of the hat to, Indiana and just everything that they did today in the game. And, I think for us, it's a lot of emotions right now, shared in the locker room. We can be upset, because losing doesn't sit well with us. And, we can be, frustrated about it, but and that's what our program's going to be, is upset when these type of situations happen. And we've got to use it to fuel us moving forward. I think also, obviously, but I'm going to be proud. I'm going to be proud of these guys and proud of who they are and what we accomplished this year. We came up short of our goal, and I think the other motion would be just sad for the guys, and these would be two of them right here. Hard to look them in the eye because the emotions that go through me when I think about what they've given to me and given to this program every single day, everything they got. And so our guys, going back to a year ago, we're all in, and they, committed to each other. They committed to, this season, and it showed up in the actions. It wasn't just actions that happened this fall. It happened every single day going back to early January. So again, frustrated, upset, and, it doesn't sit well with us, but, after today, all we can do is move on.
Thank you, Coach. We're actually going to start with questions for either student athlete. Please raise your hand. We have a question here in the front. Mike's coming your way.
Yeah, for Jeremy, just reflecting on your decision to follow Coach DeBoer from Washington to Alabama, just how happy are you that you made that decision? What have these 2 years at Alabama meant to you?
Yeah, it's been one of the best decisions that I've made. It's been a long journey for me, and I'm just grateful, that Coach DeBoer allowed me to have the opportunity to first come back to Washington and then, follow him, here to the University of Alabama. He's made a big impact on my life, and, he has been helping me grow, not just as a football player, but, as a young man, growing up, in this crazy world. He has a, he's a great leader, and he's only helped me, elevate in my career.
We have another question here on the left.
Yeah, for Tim, football's played at the line of scrimmage so often. How would you assess the way you guys played with that Indiana front that seemed to do pretty well today?
Yeah, Indiana did a great job of, playing their game and stuff like that. Evidently, I wasn't good enough to do my job better. So defense, we didn't make the stops that we needed to and stuff like that. So they capitalized on our mistakes. But Indiana had a great plan for us, and they executed well.
We have another question here in the middle, right there.
For both of you guys, all during the week and talking about Indiana, you guys gave them a lot of credit for what you saw on film and such. But was there anything at all that surprised you about what they did today, or was it stuff you had seen that you just didn't handle as well as you wanted to?
No, not necessarily. We've done a great job of watching film. Our coaches did a great job at putting a great game plan, together for us. But it just comes down to us being able to execute, and we didn't execute to our best abilities. And like Tim said, they just capitalized off all the mistakes we made, and it made it a rough game for us.
Yeah, pretty much what he said. They came out, they did what they had to do.
We have another question here in the front.
Katie and Wyndham from Bama Central. For both players, just what are you going to remember about this team and this season?
I say, our motto this year was unbreakable. I think that our team is very resilient. We trust and believe in each other. We always have faith in each other. I'm just going to remember how resilient this team is, and how our brotherhood was.
Yeah, same. How we handled adversity at times and stuff like that. I really appreciate these group of guys. I'll go to war with them again if I had to. But yeah, that's what I have to say about this team. The love that we play with, the brotherhood that's there, and it's really a family there.
Do we have any other questions for Jeremy or for Tim? Okay, thank you guys. You guys. Can
I
keep up.
just want to give glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing us to have this opportunity, for allowing this team to, be here together in California to, enjoy this moment. Even though it didn't go the way we wanted, it's still a lot to be grateful for. Guys like, TK, he went through injury and was able to play throughout the season. So guys were able to, play in this game that weren't healthy, throughout the whole year, and we're able to walk off the field healthy. So it's just a lot to be grateful for, and I just want to give glory to Jesus Christ for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank God always.
Thank you guys. Okay, we'll take questions for Coach DeBoer. The first one will come from here in the front left.
Hey, Coach. Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. You spoke about just going through adversity throughout the season. Obviously, today's game didn't end the way you wanted. So how do you take this, and fuel this till next season as far as some of the feelings and the emotions that you're going through right now?
Yeah, hit on that. You got guys that are moving on, and it's the last game they play here, and got careers at the next level, and then you got guys that you want to start laying the groundwork for, the future. And I know, because I've been doing this long enough, and I have experiences that I can fall back on, that the fine line between what we had out there today and being at the very top is such a fine line. You got to go back to starting over from scratch with putting the people around you, the right people, committing to something, a common goal together, and the actions following it. And so it's such a fine line. You may not feel like it when you're in this moment right now and what happened today, but I can tell you it's a fine line between being here and being at the top. But we got to do the work. We got to put the work in. You got to believe. You got to be consistent. You got to have discipline, and we'll get back to work and start all over again.
Question from the middle in the jean jacket.
Joe Goodman, AL.com. Kalen, what were you thinking on that fourth down call, and could you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, just felt like it was going to be one of those games where you got to take advantage of possessions, and obviously, when you fall short, it's the wrong decision, right? We don't get the first down, give them a shorter field. They make a nice play on third down, nice throw and catch. And, it's a belief. It's a belief in the guys on offense, it's a belief in the guys on defense that worst case scenario, we can hold them to a field goal. And obviously didn't work out that way. But I try not to be reckless, but try to be aggressive. And wanted to make sure, and you saw we put a group out there, did the punt / try to hard count. Just gives me a little more time to think about what my decision would be. Get some of the guys on the sideline to talk through the play call. And so, I really felt like even during that point, I was committed to going for it and wanting, to try to, make it happen. And again, that's where you got to be careful as a head coach when you make those decisions, because it can go the other way. But, I think, just looking at the game, we had to take advantage of every possession for it to end up the way we wanted to. And so, that was one of them.
We have time for two. We have time for two more questions. We'll take one from the front left right there.
Coach, Steve Futterman from NPR. I want to ask you, obviously, there have been some great moments this year for this team and some difficult moments like today, and you've been involved with some great moments in your career. I was wondering if you could take a step back and tell us what you think of this Indiana team. They're number one. They haven't been beaten. How good is this team?
Yeah, they're very good, because I think we have a good team. And they did a nice job. Led with a trigger man, made the throws and third down conversions, just kept them on the football field. They, continued to wear us down at the end of the game with the run game. They just execute on a high level, and everyone feeds off each other, and it's both sides of the ball. It's not just one thing. You got to tip your hat to Coach Cignetti and what he's done here. And obviously they're all aligned and doing a good job, executing, and that's what they did today.
Okay, our last question will come from the front right here.
With the Tuscaloosa News, Coach, could you just speak to the quarterback change, Ty's toughness, and then how you thought Austin played?
Yeah, Ty had an injury, obviously, and he really wanted to try to go out there, and we treated him there at halftime, and he gave it a series, and just I know he feels like he let down the team, and there's no way that that's the case. He went out there and tried to battle, and that's who he is. And so I'm never going to let that, be a thing where, he let us down in any way. And so, making sure he knows that. And, Austin being ready to go, he did some nice things when he got on the football field there tonight. And, just getting put in a tough spot when you're, trying to catch up, and it's the third quarter already. So, again, proud of all of our team, but that was the situation with Ty.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.